Hi, everyone. What you doing, pretty girl? What you doing, pretty girls? I have bribe treats here for the new office kitties. I like to show how good they're doing. It is time for the weekly wrap-up. And I always say the weekly wrap-up is much better when you have cats in the frame. So let them do treats. Hey, Bubbles. We're gonna go down right here and see you guys. That's much better. Put me in the background. That's the best way. All right, kids. Hey, Wobbles. You gonna share? All right, I'll be with you in all a second. after I attend to Wobbles and squirrels right now. All right, you guys, are you almost done with your churu so I can start my weekly wrap up? If you're just joining me, I'm giving a treat to Wobbles and squirrels right now before we start our weekly wrap up. All right, here we go. Oops, now I got all over my fingers. So the first thing I want to say is that Wobbles and squirrels, our two new office cats, are fully merged. They are a perfect addition to the Wildcat Sanctuary. The funny thing is they are so lovable, love everyone, love treats, but even with that door open, they don't venture out. I think they ventured out twice and got really nervous and came back. So next week, starting Monday, well, we are gonna leave that door open at night, not just during the day, knowing that they're way more active at night, and see how they feel and let it be quiet for them to go out there and merge. But it's always really, really nice when cats are settling in so well. As every of you guys know, whenever you've taken in a cat or even a dog, I sometimes call it rescue remorse, where you take in an animal wanting to help an animal and they have that adjustment period and we have that adjustment period, and you kind of go, what did I do? Luckily, these kids have not had that. They have been extremely, extremely wonderful and lovey and just easy. Just easy, haven't you? Haven't you, beautiful girl? So let's get to the weekly wrap up if Wobbles will allow me to. So on top of these two joining our family, Kiara actually went and got a dog groom yesterday. She needed it so bad. She has been in the pond and everywhere, and so she's looking beautiful, but I think she's holding a grudge against us for bringing her. And Olivia was so sweet. Olivia brought Kiara home for the night and then brought her to the, she's hearing me call her name, and then brought her to the groomer the next day. And so that was a huge help. Huge help. We, obviously, you guys heard that we lost Sebastian, a geriatric serval, and he's been with us a long time. I know that was hard on Elise and other caregivers because he's been with us so much. And similar to me losing some of my founding cats over the last couple of years, for caretakers, Sebastian's a founding cat because he came right when they started working here. And so it was hard, but there is peace in knowing he lived a long and happy life. And knowing right now we have so many geriatrics going into winter, we are assessing a lot of cats, and we take it day by day. Similar with Shanti Diva, the lioness, we schedule sometimes a euthanasia before winter, knowing they only have a few months left and don't want them to be set in the cold. And then when they prove us wrong, we move that date. Right now, Lavani, who's been on our comfort care watch, is our next one that we're concerned about. He's not maintaining his weight like he was. Is his time today? No. Is it tomorrow? No. But as I've been telling you for over a year, it's coming. And we look at it coming sooner than later. Honestly, I don't see Lavani with us through winter based on, his body's getting tired and shutting down, but we've had beautiful weather, and we all decided at our meeting is like, let's let him hang out in the wonderful sun. He's making good decisions at night in his room or heated den. And so we're going to take it day by day, but that day could always change. So keep us in the cats and the caretakers in your thoughts. Those decisions are never taken lightly, never made lightly. They take a lot of discussions and a lot of really getting everybody's perspective to get a holistic approach and view on how an animal's doing. And so the one thing we've always said is if we choose too soon, they'll forgive us. If we choose too late, we never forgive ourselves, because we don't want to see an animal crash or suffer, especially when we know their time's limited. So Luna, who lost Sebastian, her dear friend, is doing extremely well. She started sleeping near and even with the other servals prior to Sebastian's passing. And so that transition has been pretty seamless. Now, she doesn't have the same relationship she had with Sebastian. That was many years in the making, but it is looking very positive at this time. So we're thankful for that. It has been so busy here. We are putting on the finishing touches of Catiotown, and I am so thankful for so many people. And I'm going to do all the thank yous and hopefully the big reveal next week. So you're going to want to stay tuned. Founding members are going to be the first to get information, and then other people will, but we're going to do the big reveal, right, aren't we, Wobbles, of all the cats. All the cats except 2 rooms have moved in right now. It's of course a big adjustment for them because it's a big open space. It's a space where they can see each other across the hallway. So we're going to let them settle in too and keep it quiet. And during that time, we're working on the outdoor catios and getting furniture in the catios. There'll still be work to do after the big reveal because a lot of it can't be done till spring. But the move-in and a lot of the big elements are there. So definitely stay tuned for that. On top of everybody that's been helping with Catiotown, now to get all the logistics done, the cat moves, the contractors, we still had ice damage from a few years ago. And the Kuglitz, Tacoma, Rainier, and Quincy's yard is about a 7,000 square foot roofed yard. And it was time to take out the old truss systems made of cattle panel and put in poles and cross poles. So our fence company came, and our interns and Tyler have been helping, I think, for 4 or 5 days now, taking down the trusses, helping cleaning up, putting up the wire ties, in hopes to get the cougars back out this week. They've been in their holding yard and their rooms, and that is a massive project. I will tell you, it is always easier to build from scratch than it is to repair something existing because you have to work around things. It's just tougher. And on top of that, our Cougar Cove Kate has something that's in the swamp has to be amended and fixed every several years. So we're doing that right now, which is a big project. The cat moves. Alyssa's, the lilager, she moved to her yard and she doesn't like to shift in her bedroom as much as we'd like her to. So the staff are also putting in a holding yard like we do in our new enclosures where it goes from their habitat to their holding yard to the bedroom, so that when she's locked in for cleaning, she has access to a smaller holding yard because that makes her much more comfortable. So that's another project trying to get done right now. We have our last volunteer crew day of the season this Saturday. I think we've had over 40 crew days this year that Tyler has led about 99% of them. So kudos to him for doing that, and thank you to all the volunteers that come all season long, and we hope you sign up for crew days in the spring for next year as well. While we were doing that, the new bungalows that came for Catiotown that you helped build, and 2 new ones going into a new Bengal quarantine area have got their chutes, they've gotten their electric to it, they're getting furniture, their kennel fronts, their doggy doors. That's been going on. And Olivia went to the Big Cat Sanctuary Alliance conference. It is the first year I couldn't go. There was just so much going on here, on top of coordinating Lucy's rescue, which I'll give you an update on her as well. And so she said it was great. It was wonderful for her to see industry folks and, you know, learn different things about fundraising as well as animal care and some geriatric arthritic care. And she's bringing all those learning back to our sanctuary to share as well. Excuse me, I need my little thing. And then I am working on a presentation because I am presenting at the Performing Animal Welfare Society International Captive Wildlife Conference, along with some other sanctuary folks from the Big Cat Sanctuary Alliance in early November. So I'll be going there talking about the small cat crisis, which will be great. And then some updates. Lucy is doing really well. Lucy's the new tiger from Argentina. She still has a pretty rough looking coat. She still has the non-scientific term I like to say to tell you guys is like her skin's kind of taut and stuck to her. She doesn't look well hydrated. She's drinking a lot of water, which is good for a cat her age, but she's drinking more than normal. So we do believe she has chronic kidney disease. We don't have blood work that's been in the last year to be able to tell, medically, but obviously all her symptoms are showing that. So we've added some kidney support. We're making sure she gets lots of fluids. Her urine when she goes is clear, which, we'd like to see more color to it. But so far, we don't want to sedate her because all we're going to do is verify something we already think. And she's had so much trauma. Excuse me, cats. It's really hard to be serious when I get so much love going on. That would be harder on her body and kidneys, as we talked about. So she's getting more comfortable every day. Around people is where she is most comfortable. The other animals, a little so-so. And so she has gone into her building, but we had a whole plan as of yesterday that we were going to lock Winona in. We were going to walk her through the yard to the front yard where Winona's is, so she's not surrounded by so many cats. The pond is right in front of there. And then the caretakers could walk her right up to her room. And so they were putting in a heated den box just in case she's not using her room, since we have a couple dips in temperature coming up. And then get that all area situated. So as they were doing all that work yesterday, an intern said, "Lucy's in her room." And so Lucy went in her room to steal some pieces of meat, and then she went back out. So then this morning it was talked about, do we just give her more time to go in her room? And we still said we're going to do twofold. We're getting the den box in today into Winona's yard, the poles and stuff to get the heat to the den box. And then we're going to lock in and then let her walk through on her own and let Lucy make the decision of where she wants to be. And so that was our big plan for today. Until a caretaker told us that for the 5th day in a row, Gino and Sophie have taken out every water bucket in their yard and destroyed it and chewed it. We have replaced them every single day, and they continue to take them out. Before they were just taking them out in their yard, in their holding yard. Now they're taking them out in their room. So as of right now, they have no water buckets in any part of their enclosure, which is obviously a big issue and a challenge because cats need water several times a day, especially an old lion like Sophie, and they're still holding a grudge over her vet day. So we were able to shift them in different areas. The caretakers were able to get out all the pieces because safety is an issue when they chew water buckets. And now we're having an afternoon meeting on what the next step is. We have tried everything. We've tried concrete areas where, but we have freezing temperatures and things in the ground. We can do a metal one like Daisy's, which was about $800. But if Gino grabs it, he's going to break his teeth. So Dr. Campbell, who's a horse guy and stuff, we are all devising what our permanent plans are for them. But in the meantime, they're going to get big gray stock holding tanks that are chained to the wall that do not have a heat source. And we are really assuming Gino's going to chew the edges of those, but at least we can keep water in there. And so if we didn't have winters, just giving them a habitat that had the in-ground tiger pool would be a solve. But we need to heat it. So these animals keep us on our toes all the time, and today is no different. And so we've had to shift gears, stop moving the last 2 bungalows into Catiotown, kind of put a halt on Alyssa's holding yard to then focus on Gino and Sophie's, what water source there's going to be. And again, if they were cats that shifted all the time for us, like Daisy, we just put a new one in every day and know it's a cost of doing business. Because we could get it from her. But safety is one, and safety is especially when Sophie won't shift for us to leave a broken water bucket that could be chewed apart in their habitat is a big safety concern. So that's going to be what our afternoon is, and we are brainstorming. There's so many things we've tried over the years, and we always find one or two that just, they don't want that water bucket in their yard. It's something new. They also gave them tons of pumpkin and other enrichment and bloodsickles, thinking that maybe they would leave their water bucket alone, but no. They know it keeps us on our toes. So just a small little obstacle in the road of caring for big cats. But that'll be solved by end of day. So they've been without water about an hour and a half, and that's probably the max we want them to. So those are kind of my updates, but I really wanted to remind you guys all to definitely stay tuned next week for Catiotown's big reveal. It is going to make you so happy. I call it the fantasy land for rescued wildcats and hybrids. And again, there were so many goals of Catiotown, you know, providing a really great year-round habitat for our rescued hybrids was number one. Decreasing our maintenance time for our caretakers so they got to spend more time with the cats that are socialized was two. Obviously, providing a donor and volunteer area and experience was three, but one of my most favorite ones is number four, is that really being a marketing catalyst for the small cat crisis, education and awareness. And I think bringing this building with those really awesome and cool themes and vibrant colors will pique media's interest, will pique social media's interest, and will keep that conversation alive. So not only was it fun to do, but it was really done with a purpose, because we really need to educate more about the small cat crisis and really curb the breeding of Bengals, Savannahs, and other hybrids as pets, because we're just seeing too many surrendered now that sanctuaries can't keep up. So Olivia talked to a parrot rescue that presented at the Big Cat Sanctuary Alliance Conference, and it was an interesting concept. It was called Sanctuary at Home. And same thing with parrots. They cannot rescue parrots enough. There's just not enough places for parrots, and parrots live a long time. And so they've had to kind of change a concept of how they educate the owner and what they can do at home to try and keep the parrot in the home, while at the same time trying to stop curbing the breeding of captive parrots and definitely stop the illegal trading of importing wild parrots. And so we're kind of at the same boat with domestic Savannahs and Bengals right now. And so it's an interesting concept and one we're going to look into. So I think I need to go spend some more cuddle time with the office cats here. So I'm going to take a moment to go give some hugs and kisses to them before I go out and go back to work. So thanks everyone for tuning in today, and thank you, little squirrels, for being my